All right, everyone, hello. Welcome to week one, module one of our brand new summer 2020 online semester. Woo! Hopefully you guys have looked at the class syllabus in Blackboard and you have looked at the class schedule as well, so you know what you're doing from week to week. If you have any questions about any of that, let me know. Real quick, I wanted to, and I'll try and make these videos weekly and make them brief, as succinct as possible. Chapter 17 is where we're starting out. And my cat is going nuts. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, all right, so the class starts out with chapter 17 in the book, and it involves the Enlightenment. Now, it's kind of a weird place to start the class, but I think it's necessary because a lot of stuff that's discussed in chapter 17 feeds directly into chapter 18. You can't really talk about the French Revolution without first talking about the Enlightenment. So what was the... Wow, things just got quieter. My air conditioning shut off. What was the Enlightenment? The chapter will talk a lot about it, but in a nutshell, it was a bunch of sort of uppity white guys who were really smart and a little full of themselves. And they thought a lot about how the world could be a better place. That's basically it. And the reason why I'm talking about this is the Enlightenment didn't just come from somewhere. The Enlightenment was kind of building off of something called the Scientific Revolution that had happened earlier in European history. So, and the Scientific Revolution involves people making new discoveries in math and science and physics. So think like Copernicus proposing the idea that it's the Earth that revolves around the sun and not the other way around. That's a pretty radical idea. Galileo does a lot to push that idea. He's eventually condemned by the Catholic Church for his ideas, and he's forced to kind of say, JK, lol, I didn't mean to say those things. But Isaac Newton develops new advances in physics. He invents calculus. Basically, the scientific revolution was a bunch of dudes in Europe saying, you know, we were wrong for a really long time about basic understandings of how the world works. We were wrong that in that we believed forever that it's the Earth that revolves, or sorry, it's the sun that revolves around the Earth. We were wrong that there are only 3 continents in the world. Turns out there's the Americas, so the world's a lot bigger than we thought. We were wrong about certain assumptions we had made about math and science. So the scientific revolution predate, you're not going to read this in the book. So I'm just telling you to help you get an idea for what you're reading in chapter 17 this week. The scientific revolution was a bunch of people questioning, holy crap, we were wrong for millennia, thousands of years about certain fundamental understandings of the world. What else are we wrong about? And that's where the Enlightenment starts. Is people thinking we were really wrong about science for a really long time. What else have we been doing for thousands of years that have been stupid or inefficient or not the best we could possibly do things? So that's your foundation for starting out the class, is a lot of people in the West are starting to think about their world in very different ways. They start thinking about my cat. They're not thinking about my cat. My cat is distracting me as best he can right now. The old dead white guys in Europe, they start thinking about how can we make a system of morality better? How can we make religion better? How can we make, and this is the important one for you guys and for this class, how can we make government better? Like, how can we make a better government than just a king who sits on a throne and anything he says is law and we can't do anything about it? Like normal Joe Schmoes like you and me. Like, we are at the king's mercy all the time. How do we make a better government than that? Because that's awfully unfair, and yet that's the way human beings have always done things, is give like all power to one guy or gal if she's a queen. So that's the Enlightenment. That's, you know, thinking about how the world works and how we can make the world a better place. How can we make government, what does good government mean? This is especially important to think about when you start reading the historical documents for this week. You have 3 very, very short documents to read, and all 3 of them talk about, you know, basically how can we make a more fair, just, equitable government that serves the people, or serves the people better. Because that becomes a really important idea in chapter 18 when we get the French Revolution, which is one of the most important events in all of Western history. So that's your foundation for this week. Happy reading. If you have any questions, please let me know. Do the readings from the textbook and then take the quiz. It's only 10 questions, and you can start and stop. If you can't finish the whole thing all at once, you can stop where you are and then come back later and finish it. It is open book, so take advantage of that. And then start reading the documents for this week and then working on the analysis papers. I have given you instructions and a template for how to format the analysis paper. And I've also given you a sample paper to look at from a different class and dealing with a different topic, but at least it will give you a very good idea of how to structure these short papers. I call them papers, they're really just short essays. So me and my cat are going to go to bed now. I'm recording this on Sunday night, so it's going to be up on Blackboard for you guys starting Monday, first day of the summer term. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. I plan on holding digital office hours tomorrow if I can. However, my son is in an awful lot of tooth pain. I think I need to take him to the dentist tomorrow afternoon. So I may not be able to hold my first digital office hours, which is a bummer. But you can always email me if you have questions about anything, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, I am going to bed with my crazy cat. Have a good one, guys.